Well, hey guys, Rob Stevens here. I hope you're doing well. I just want to give you a real quick report about our trip to Nicaragua. We took 7 people down to Nicaragua last week to serve and love on the people there, and we had an amazing, amazing time. God did some really, really neat things. There are literally probably hundreds of stories that me and my team can tell you about the 7 days that we were both traveling and serving in Nicaragua. But I just want to share a couple of those stories with you and just encourage you with some things that I was personally encouraged by. Every afternoon, our team would go into a village, and we would love on a village. There were several different villages that the ministry we were working with are serving, and we went in and we would make a big pot of food. We would feed the entire village. We would give out packets of food for them to eat later. We took a doctor in with us who would go and see the children of the village, which is really important because in Nicaragua they have an infant mortality rate of 1 in 3 by the age of 3. And so Don, the guy who runs Because We Care Ministries, the ministry we went through, his goal is to get the kids to 3. And if you get them to 3, they have a much better chance of survival. We played soccer with the children. We loved on the village. And overall, we just seen God do some really cool things. The last village that we went to is a new village that they're just beginning to start efforts to planting a church in. It was a village called San Antonio. And after playing soccer with the guys for a while, we were sitting under a shade tree, just relaxing, and through an interpreter, I was able to share the gospel with a group of about 5 or 6 young boys. We share the gospel in all kinds of different ways, but one way that we share the gospel was through witnessing bracelets with different colors that talk about different aspects of the gospel. And so normally I just kind of go through it with the interpreter. I tell them what was going on, but these guys, a lot of them have received these bracelets from other mission teams, and so they've heard this before. This particular time was really important and encouraging to me because I was able to interact. It was a smaller group of kids, and I was able to interact with them a little more and ask them questions and kind of like see if they could retell the story to me and just really kind of help them understand the gospel a little in maybe a little deeper way. And at the end of the conversation there, I asked the young people, I said, how many of you think that you could tell this story to someone else in your village? And 3 young boys raised their hand. They were probably, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 maybe. And so I said, if I give you another bracelet, do you promise me that you'll go and you'll tell someone else, you'll give it to them and you'll tell them the story? And they said, yeah, we'll absolutely do that. And so we did. We gave them another bracelet and we commissioned them to go out in their village. And I thought, that's what ministry is like here in North America too. We are to be making disciples who make disciples. And that was a real small thing, but it was a reminder to me of the calling that we all have as believers in Jesus Christ. Another thing that was encouraging to me was to just hear Don and Pam, the people who run the ministry down there, talk about the last 12 or 13 years of ministry in Nicaragua. God had called them down there. He gave them big dreams. And just over a long period of time of cultivating those relationships, of a faithful, consistent presence, they're beginning to see some of their dreams come true. Just this year, they opened up a clinic that they have on their property now that sees people and does ministry through that. They're in the dream stages now of building an orphanage in this area. And Don was telling me that these things just didn't happen overnight, and sometimes it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but over time you can see how their ministry has made a difference. And we got to be a little small piece of that as a mission team, but it also reminded me, as we're 5 months into this church plant here at College Park, that's what God's called us to as well. He's called us to be a faithful, consistent presence. And we live in a culture that wants instant results, but a lot of times that's not the way God works. It's this art, this grind, if you will, of cultivation. And in His timing, He'll bring the harvest. And that was just really encouraging to me. I want to thank you guys so much for your prayers. No one got sick on our trip. No one was seriously injured. We had some little nicks here and there. Nothing bad. Our team had perfect unity all week. No one was arguing or anything. It was just a beautiful thing. We came back as a team of people fired up to tell people about Jesus in our own context, fired up to be on mission here in College Park. And so your prayers were a big part of that. Some of you gave to help us go, and I want to thank you for that. That was huge as well. And I want to ask you to continue to pray for us. We got a big semester ahead of us. A lot of stuff is coming down the pipeline. We're starting 2 new community groups in a couple weeks, and that's going to be big. That's the lifeblood of our church. Now, we're currently working really, really hard looking into different venues to begin doing worship. We're running out of space in my basement. Good problem to have. So, just keep praying. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen in the next few weeks and months, and your prayers are going to be important. Your financial support is important to what we're doing. So thank you so much for investing in the kingdom of God here. I love you guys. I hope you're staying warm out in the snowstorm, and I'll talk to you later.